Y'all are beautiful, y'all are brave, and y'all are enough.
To get that knowledge and that education, that's what it's all about. So that's what's up. So we're going to go ahead and crank things up.
My name is Mike Ray Anderson, and I'm an award-winning film producer and TV and film actor as well. And I'm also a national spokesperson for mass incarceration and juvenile incarceration. Been in the industry since 2008. Probably could have gone in earlier, but I was going through something in life. For y'all that don't know me, I'm a former death penalty offender that served 17 and a half years on a life sentence as a 17-year industry veteran as well.
My name is Dynasty Smith. I came all the way here to Atlanta from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Writer, just released my first project. Actually, we're still filming and we're still casting, so I really thank all of you all for coming out. I thank Too Hot Radio for having me here. This is my first project, and it's been going well. I saw some amazing talent today. It's called Godmother. Okay. That's me. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of y'all come back. I would like to put all of y'all on there. So what I do is I really stay in touch with the talent that I come in contact with. That's why I want to stay in the room for every single person. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to see everybody, you know, what you guys had to offer, because what I've been doing with my platforms is I've been helping independent artists, independent business owners. When I got on radio, I started sharing my platform by having business owners, comedians, other actors, entertainers come on. Right now, working on my own ATL tour. So I've been able to work my craft, as they have said. You gotta really, it's work, and you gotta invest in yourself. And I've been using my own money to invest in my projects. So I've been hustling. You know, I bought that Jersey hustle down here. So my thing is, I'm able to put other artists like myself on my platforms and using my resources to help you guys get that promotion and get noticed. Somebody else may see you when you're on my platforms. All of the talent, I got to see each and every one of y'all. And please stay in contact with me. My Instagram is DYNASTI55. That's the only place it's spelled with an I, but it's Dynasty Smith. So please reach out to me, stay in touch with me, let me know what you're doing. I'll come out and get some footage of you. We gotta support each other, so I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
Bad Boys, the franchise. I've been in this game for like since I was 15. This is a hard game. This is not easy at all, so just keep working, keep doing everything you're doing. And it's nice to meet y'all.
I'm a screenwriter, actor, director, producer. Thank you, Too Hot Radio, for the invitation. We've worked together. Hey, it's a journey, man. I've been in this thing 12 years. Long hours, blood, sweat, and tears, and you can't get around it. You gotta do the work. There's no way to avoid it. Happy to be here. Want to shout out my brother Jason Louder out there, man. BMF. Wu-Tang, everything. See, that's what great talent and hungry actors do. He's here in the audience, man. So, thank you.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Josh C. I've been working with Too Hot, man, for about 12 years now. He's Olanion Thurman. He was Team Groot, the tree character in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. We also did Ms. Marvel as well. And we also did Doom Patrol, which is a DC film. I was on the management team for Jason Mitchell, who played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton. I've worked with a number of people, man, go on and on, between, film and music as well. So, glad y'all are here.
Called Prodigal. The 1 years, my brother Jason Louder over here. And just watching this man work, bro, it's like, it's crazy, like, just to see his work ethic. If you don't mind, Jason, you want to come up here and join?
Y'all are brave, and y'all are enough. I just want to say that. Just me on my journey, man. Acting found me. I was teaching kindergarten through 8th grade PE, you know what I mean? And one of my brothers, I used to do music with, so I did music as well. He called me, he was like, hey, you should go to this audition. And I was like, for what? He said, for a play. I said, to play what? Because he was like, yo, you the hype man of the group, so you got all this energy, right? And I was like, okay. So I went to the audition. The lady gave me the sides of what you have for your audition, part of the script. She gave me the sides, I read them, and I was like, wow, this is just, oh, okay. When I call you, you're gonna come in and read with the director. Came in, read with the director, and something spiritual happened to me, I felt like. And I was like, whoa, that was powerful. So she was like, thank you. And the next director was sitting right next to her. She was like, hey, can you read mine too? And I was like, yeah. So I grabbed it, I read it, we read together. Same thing, spiritual, something happened, something transformed in me. The next director was like, hey, can you read mine too, but can you have a Jamaican accent? I said, Wagwan, bro, Jamaica, bless up. I read that one, and it was just like booming. So the director for the entire department, she called me later that night. She said, Jason Louder. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, so I can't let this happen. So you've been cast in all 5 of the plays, but you have to choose 2 because you've never acted before, and that would be unfair for not only you but for the other directors. So you can choose 2, and the 2 I chose, one was the first one, my first play ever was called Our Liberated Justice, and it was about some Black Panthers. And then the second one was called Salam, and I played a Muslim terrorist who had crashed into the Twin Towers and was atoning to God for my sins. After that, I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I said, I'm going to take all the classes, I'm going to be in all the plays, I'm going to do everything I need to do to become a student of this craft. Because I recognize that this is a craft, and people take the craft seriously. So I wanted to be a student first. So man, I was in like stage plays and classes for 3 years straight. And then I continued to study. I just did a class at the Alliance Theater this month, the top of this year. Always studying. I said, I want to keep studying because if I stop learning, then I'm dead. So I want to keep learning. Oh, yes, sir. So that was the reason. That's my, so now I know my why. My why now is to make a difference, is to tell stories, and is to make a change in the lives of our people. So that's my why now.
People that said if you want to be in Bad Boys 2, call it up. But Bad Boys 1 was my favorite movie. I watch Will and Martin all the time. So I just went for the role. They faxed me the script. I read over it with my family a couple times, and I went and I got the part like that. I didn't know nothing about acting. And then when I came and I got the role, I was like, oh, I jumped into something I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know nothing about the business and nothing that came with it. My family they worked regular jobs. They didn't have the time to sit there and go help me with the craft of acting, and then I just had to step back for a little bit and learn the business of everything, and now I'm here where I'm at today.
One of the things that I used to do, I used to wake up early in the morning when everybody was looking all thuggish and hating the fact that we were all incarcerated, and I said, man, I want laughter in this cell block right now. And then I would just start imitating some of the officers, and they would all just bust out laughing. Gentlemen, I need your shoes on top of the lockers. I need your beds fixed, and you out of here by 7:30 a.m., okay? And I would just imitate these officers and have these guys laughing, so I realized it was something in me. And then there was this production they put on inside the prison called God's Trombones. And I actually played the story of creation. And a bunch of the inmates came to me and said, brother, I felt that when you delivered it. And I was using to survive on the inside because I had a life sentence. I never knew when I was coming home. I was originally facing the death penalty plus life plus 60 years. I had to take a plea bargain for life to escape the death penalty. And when I realized that acting was what was going to give me life and bring me back to life and bring the Lazarus from out of the tomb, it was right there in that moment that I said, this is what I want to do. So I started writing plays, and ironically, they was calling me the, Tyler Perry of prison.
Life was one of my biggest heartbreaks as well, because as they was explaining, it was like, he has it. He's not shy. We want to take him to New York. We want to train him how to diet, how to audition, and we're going to take him to some auditions. And I promise you, he told my mom, I promise you, he's going to land a commercial, a TV series or something. So my mom said, okay, so what's next? He was like, well, everything's going to be paid for except for the flight ticket. Back then, we talking about the 90s. That's when it cost. You think they expensive now? Back then. So she was like, "Is there anything we can do?" He was like, "We're gonna cover everything else. You just gotta give him pay for his round trip." I looked at her. She said, "I'm gonna ask his dad." I said, "Oh shit, I ain't gonna." So that broke my heart. But then years later, got another opportunity. Robert Townsend, who started his television network. Once again, this time it was over 1,000 people auditioning. Went up there, was one of the ones selected. Then I don't know what happened. Something just fell through, and this industry is full of that. So that was another heartbreak. But it was easy for me. But then I auditioned when I was in college. I went to Savannah State University, played football. I auditioned for Raisin in the Sun, and that was like a revered play, as a lot of you may know. So I wanted the lead role, and I've had so much success. This one I had to really learn to respect the craft and learn my craft, respect the art form. So I auditioned, and I didn't know how to audition. I didn't know it was a skill set. A lot of people auditioning ain't easy. So like dudes knew their marks, they knew how to do everything. And I'm like, oh shit. Sorry, but they still liked me, and they gave me the role of Bobo. Yeah, so I had one scene, and I was pissed off. I was like, I ain't finna do this shit. And then I looked at myself, I looked in the mirror, I had to humble myself. I was like, nah, bro. I said, you sucked in that audition. You lucky you got this. So I looked in the mirror and I said, look, I said, you only got one scene, one shot. I said, you better be the best fucking Bobo, excuse my language, than ever been. So it came time for the play, and the guy who got the lead, he could not act to me. I'm sorry, man. I'm being honest. So it used to hurt me in rehearsals. I'm like, this nigga got this role now. No, he can't act. So the audition came opening night. My time came up, and I tell you, I killed it. And then I get to push the lead character and slap him around because he's spazzing out. I'm like, what's the matter with you? So I slapped the shit out of him. But that's just, it's been going there ever since. So man, I love acting, man. If y'all feel how I feel, I mean, seeing y'all here tonight indicates y'all in the right steps. So man, let's do it. Let's work.
Hang on for 1 second, Johnson. Quick announcement. We just want to remind everybody in here that smoking of any kind is prohibited. Completely prohibited. So you will be escorted out the building if caught smoking. So let's all keep it cordial. Thank you.
For me, man, I was never an actor. Never did any music of any sort. But I've always been on the business side of everything. My biggest thing was, seeing people succeed. It wasn't about self. It's always about, helping the next person. So when it came down to, me helping actors and actresses and artists, I've gotten, funding for movies. I've gotten artist funding for, for their music careers. I've done it, But like I said, everyone that, that I've worked with thus far, me being, a Yoruba priest as well, I make sure that everyone is aligned, spiritually as well. A lot of people within the entertainment industry don't know how essential that is when it comes down to what you want to do. There's people who scramble, who want to do music, who want to be in, in films and things of that nature, man. But make sure that, you're aligned spiritually with what you want to do, because there's people out here who who want to do certain things, but that's probably not something that you're supposed to do. So if you feel any type of blockage or anything of that nature, man, make sure that you're aligned spiritually with self so you can move forward. So that's my biggest thing, man. So when it comes down to endorsement deals, I've done it, you know. But like I said, the people that I work with, I make sure that they're aligned with self so we can make it happen. So that's my gem for you all today. It's not so much about me. I want to give a gem to you all to see you all be successful.
So with my journey, from observation of actors and actresses, I worked on TV shows from BET, all the scripted series, Tyler Perry, all their shows, movies, Disney shows. I've done a lot of projects, and with me, what I wanted to do when I got in this industry, I wanted to see my name on the screen, right? So I wanted to create. And so when I first started out, I really wanted to be a writer. And so I started writing a script, and I would ask to write, it would be really late night, so I would probably get up until about 1 a.m. in the morning. One day I got a phone call and it was like, hey, we got this show coming back to Atlanta. Send us your script, your spec script. And we'll see if we can get you on the writers team. And I was like, dang, I ain't got no spec script. I said, okay, well, how long do I have? He was like, well, you got about 2 weeks. So I said, I got 2 weeks to do a spec script. So every night, after I got off work, I took 2 hours out the day to start writing on the script, on my spec script. And that 2 weeks came, and I turned in my spec script. And he was like, man, yeah, this is good. It's different, but it's good, But I'll let you know, if we're going to be able to get you on the show. So I was like, okay. So then he comes back, and he was like, yeah, it's kind of too late. He said, I just want to say this one thing to you. He's like, a lot of people always say, I just need the opportunity, right? But he said to me, it's not about getting the opportunity. It's about being prepared for the opportunity. So with that said, it's like you guys want to act and stuff like that. It's not easy. You can't just, everybody don't have that opportunity to just have that natural ability and get booked on the first show, your first audition. So there's preparation that you need to take to get to that point. And the preparation that you need, the first step for me is what I tell people. Like I have a client that's on bill, man. When I met her, I said, hey, I'm looking for some people to audition for this BET show. And so she was like, yeah, I want to do it. And she actually booked, her very first time. And then, after that, she was like, hey, you think you can manage me? And I was like, nah, I don't know. A lot of people don't put the work in like they need to. And so I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a list of things that you need to do. If you do these things, then I'll think about, representing you. And so, I said probably like a couple months went by and she did the things on the list. But the first thing that I always say to people, you need to take acting classes, right? You need to take acting classes. You need to go ahead and, because it's a craft, even Denzel Washington still takes acting classes, to better himself for every, role that he takes. So with that being said, I know with actors, it's like, okay, you're saying take acting classes, but how do I find acting classes? Where do I go? Where do I look? If you guys can give them some advice on, if you take acting classes, who you take, what people, where they can go and find these places,
That's great advice. And I thank everybody for sharing y'all stories. It's beautiful. As far as acting classes for me, I train with Victor Love. He has a studio called Ball Acting. It's his name spelled backwards. His last name, B. Love. Freddie Hendricks, that's my acting daddy. That's who I first learned the craft of acting under Freddie Hendricks. He's no longer training anymore. He does individual training. But Victor Love has a studio in East Point. I also I train with Drama Inc. That's a very strong studio here in Atlanta. Drama Inc. Jason, Claire, that whole team, they're amazing. And I got to plug my queen, co-star coaching, Chantal Maurice. She I'm gonna say this. She's the reason why I booked Wu-Tang. She She pushed me so hard for that audition. And I was like, yo, we're doing too much. She said, no, we're not. This is what we have to do. And I was just kind of like, okay, all right, all right. But yeah, co-star coaching. And there's several other really strong studios, but find your tribe. My homeboy Stevie Baggs always said, your tribe is your vibe. So if you find your tribe, because in Victor's class, I was training with people who I knew were better than me. And I said, man, I don't know if I can do what they're doing. But they pushed me. So you find people to push you in class, and then we started studying together. We started, and you know what I'm saying? And then of course, YouTube, man. Get some books. Ivana Chubbuck has a powerful book called The Power of the Actor. That was my Bible for a long time, because that book breaks down what it means to be an actor. And so it gives you all the steps, the 9 steps to developing character. So yeah, that's just, yeah.
So she actually was my wife in Bad Boys 2, 3, and 4, and she actually teaches me with acting classes as well. So I've been just doing that and just still right now working every day, getting them no's, them emails that say no all day. I still get them even though I was in something, but you just got to keep working hard and don't ever stop. Don't ever stop, because once you stop, you're dead, like you said. But that's about it for me.
As I said earlier, Richard Lawson, man, if you ever get the opportunity to go out to LA, I promise you, he has raised a lot of kings and queens out of the acting industry, man. And there's something about him where he just took the craft and wrapped it around his whole life and said, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself. You can't just go and say, yo, I want to be an actor, and then don't show up for class, or don't do the homework, or don't do the exercises. My brother Jason here was talking about the power of the actor. There is something about this book that is like the Bible of acting. And if you ever get the opportunity, look up Chubbuck Technique. Chubbuck Technique teaches you how to make your own life experiences a tool. What we actors do, we use tools. I don't care if it's something that your character, that you did not experience, that your character experienced, but there's something you can find in yourself or someone that's close to you. Chubbuck Techniques teaches you so much, and Tasha used it, Richard used it at one time. Oba Babatunde, my private teacher, he's getting ready to start doing, we're getting ready to start back up. I'm getting ready, manage the classes and stuff like that. So reach out to me, because we're gonna have some stuff coming to the East Coast. Somebody else, one of my crazy ass friends of mine is getting ready to do some acting classes, and that's Marlon Wayans. He's getting ready to get into it strong and deep. He'll be coming to the Atlanta area and the Charlotte area, because we're gonna be starting some studios over there in that area. I want you all to study, like Jason said, like Patrick said, put in the work, like Reddy said, when you stop, you're dead. I mean, Dennis. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know, it's just, he said he was 50, I'm like, nigga, you 31 now. No, but for real, man, I'm telling you, like, when you study, I told people I was the valedictorian of 2 major universities when I came home from prison, and that was YTU and GU. YouTube University and Google University. I had my own graduation and everything. I had ribbons. Look, I walked across the stage in my living room. I had ribbons around me and everything. I did my own speech. You know what I'm saying? Because I graduated from these 2 schools, and I promise you, man, you can learn a lot. And I noticed growth in every project that I did, man. By the time I got to my most recent lead role in this, I did a shark movie, and they didn't kill me. I made it. I made it through this movie. Shout out to Shark Waters. Check it out on Tubi if you want to watch it. But and one of the things that I love doing is taking these same gems. Jason, we had a beautiful meeting the other day, me, you, Stevie, and Spells. And one of the things that I remember you telling me was when there was that monologue competition, you said, I'm the artist. I'm the artist when I walk in here. You all are the artist. You gotta control the room. If you don't learn how to control the room and sharpen your craft, don't walk in there and think that everybody is gonna get on a whim. Because nowadays, guess what? when it was 24 years ago, it's 1 million today that you're competing with. And it is a competition. It is a stiff competition. When I did that movie Shark Waters, the script was originally written for a female captain of the boat. I went in and auditioned and I commanded the room and I told them this is my role. They was like, hold up, you're reading for Captain Batting? That's a woman. I said, no, it's not. Watch. And I read and I told, look, I brought the authority of my creator with me. He said, if you're not spiritually aligned, correct, then you're not going to do nothing in this industry, I promise you. You're going to get kidnapped by the woes and the throes of what you see going on right now. You see a lot of stuff falling. And I promise you, if you want to make it, you better grab hold of yourself and figure out who you are as an actor. You understand what I'm saying? Man, I knew this brother was an actor because when I met him in real life, I said, man, this nice ass brother is playing these crazy ass roles. He's an actor. He is a thespian, I promise you. There's nothing easy about this. And when you go in and you do the work, I promise you, you prosper. Yes. And you prosper and you prosper more. Do the work, man. Do the work. I promise you, man. Study, 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 study. And then grab a hold of yourself and command the authority and power that the Creator gave you on this earth.
I'm just learning so much more right now. So for me, acting school, I was introduced to John Casablancas to guide you and tell you all of these things because they're giving it to you straight up. And you really got to hone your craft. And one of the things I do, like I said, I'm always looking for that authenticity. I'm looking for, I want to believe you. And one of the, I don't know who it was, I wrote down, I believe her, under the name. So again, I will post that information, but just make sure you're getting this information. If y'all are recording, write it down, but make sure you get that information because what they're saying is just, it is what it is. Like I said, most of my journey was in music in terms of being a singer-songwriter, which I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing people that are out here doing it. To my producer, Jay Styles, who's also in Blackstreet, outstanding, and they're good people. And as they say, I feel like I've been blessed. God has blessed me to be around some amazing people, just good people, and I can call them friends now. So again, just hone your craft and stay around people that got something positive to say to you and support you. I just told some young talent that don't waste your time with people. It's going to be naysayers. Don't listen to them. I'm living proof of that because I'm telling you, I wasn't even planning on doing none of this. So to be here, I hope that I can motivate and inspire someone. But God bless me to be here, and I think that I'm here to also help anybody else that's in this room that I can help. And that's what I've been doing with the resources and the platforms that I have, is helping others. Because really, like he said, it's not just about me. I lost my mother in 2006 to cancer. My name is Dynasty because that was her favorite television show, nighttime show. I named my lead role in Godmother after my mother, Karen White, not the singer, Karen White. So it's all about paying those, paying homages and also making sure. I'm so about the independent movement. I'm so about the independent artists. I'm highlighting all independent artists' music on the project. Everything is independent. So even if you got music that you want to send me, I heard people say, I'm a dancer, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer. Send it to me, please send it to me because I'm just pushing it on my videographer saying, hey, here's some more music, here's some more music. And it's been great. So again, I'm just really happy to be here with y'all tonight. Thank you.
Quick question. How many of you all have been told you're a natural, you have that gift, that it factor? That's what's up, that's great. Throw all that out the window. I promise you. And that's no disrespect. Because if they seen something in you, it's something there. But when I'm saying this because you go up against somebody classically trained, like this man right here, they'll eat you alive. because it is a craft. It is a skill set you have to learn. My acting coach, Clinton Powell, passed away a few years back, and I took lessons from Tiger Graham and did a few classes with Dwayne Boyd. He's very reputable. Yeah, he's very reputable, man. He's a really good actor as well. I've been trying to force this guy to become an acting coach because he's a beast.
I'll be your first student.
Yeah, you know, some of my actors out here in the audience, and they know we talk all the time. And two of the main things I tell them: be more than talent in this industry. Talent is at the bottom of the totem pole. And I always tell them, even if we have to come together and find us a coach, it is necessary, it's mandatory. We are going to have to take acting lessons. You're never good enough. You can always get better.
I did want to add something. I definitely want to shout out Too Hot Radio, and I'm gonna tell you why. For them, I did some stuff with Outlet out in BET Awards. We had a ball out there, but Too Hot Radio decided to bring this panel together for you all. And when we're making a movie, as movie producers, Pat can tell you this, you gotta figure out how to put the raw ass team together to make the project a bomb. And the fact that Too Hot Radio was able to put the raw ass team together and make this conference, this panel, the bomb. Guess what? When I spoke to you, I said, "Oh, such and such is not coming." Well, how about the guy that played his arch nemesis? And remember what you said? But guess what? He on stage right now. That's who I was talking about. That's who I was talking about when we had presented. But I'm gonna tell you though, you, Outlet, Princess with the Real, and everybody else that's working with Too Hot Radio, let me just tell y'all something. You yourselves are producers. So that's my shout out to you. I appreciate this opportunity. And the other thing that I want to say is, and I gotta shout out my 13-year-old son who's been acting since he was 4. He beat me to Netflix. Little bastard. No, I love my little king so much. I'm training him in acting, teaching him the way to go, so he knows where to go, so he does not go down my path. I want him to be greater than me. And this is me plugging. I'm sorry, y'all. Just call me the plug. My movie, I directed and produced and shot my own life story. It's on Tubi. It's entitled A Polished Soul. My son played me when I was 6 years old in this movie. And the reason why is because he said, let me tell you what we do as actors and we don't realize it. He said, "Daddy, I want to tell your story. I want to contribute to telling your story." That's what our biggest passion is as actors. We want to tell somebody's story and we want to make sure that we portray the character that is one of the elements of this story. And I'm telling you, man, again, work. And I ain't trying to sing a Rihanna song right now because I can't sing, but work. I promise you, it takes work. It's so hard, man. And there's 3 things that I think you should have. You should have headshots. You should have, look, if you don't know what Actors Access is, look that up. For those of you that don't have agents, get an Actors Access page for right now. Let that be your agent. I promise you'll start landing some roles. Yeah, so get that IMDb page and stop playing, for real.
And to be honest with you, go ahead.
I just want to quickly say, piggybacking on that was a great point. You have actors that will take work just to get them IMDb credits. So be very intentional and serious about it.
Hey, y'all know how far credit goes.
Good credit. For those of you that does acting or aspiring to be actors, sing and dance. There's another company called HEI Entertainment. My daughter, she attended this company, and they do. I mean, it's great, man. It's like a boot camp, Natasha. It's like a boot camp,
and like they train you, and then at the end of the summer or whatever, you know, they put on a big show. You know what I'm saying? So that's another showcase. So you guys can check them out.
Now, I did teach with them. I did, but I work with young, because young people, that's my ministry.
Yes.
Young people are my ministry. So when they told me that we work with young people and we train them to become triple threats, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I want
definitely.
to train. I want to pour my acting experience into them. So yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can check them out.
AGI Entertainment.
And I also want to say we're going to have an acting course, right? So there's going to be an acting a course that you can take, and what we can probably try to do is put together maybe like a weekend of acting classes for those of you that are beginners and want to just see if it's something that work for you. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll get some of these great acting coaches that these guys have attended and see if we can put something together for you guys to take the acting course. You know what I'm saying? So.
Just really quickly also, if you, like Freddie Hendrix said that acting is doing is being, and being is believing. That was his, so that he is a gangster who kills people, then you have to believe that you are a gangster who kills people. When you walk into that room, when you go into the audition, you have to embody that, right? So that's one thing that I live by. Acting is doing is being, and being is believing. And there's some amazing theater here in Atlanta right now, y'all. If you haven't done any stage, get on the stage. Theater was my training. That's how I learned to become an actor. I was on stage for 3 years straight. So Actors Express, Southside Theater Guild, go to those websites, and then they'll have their auditions. And do it all. Do musicals. I didn't want to do no musical, but I was like, I need to do musicals too. I can't sing, but I need to be able to be out there and so because that's performance. So just do it all. Do it all. Do it all.
Another thing, just make sure you guys are investing in yourself, right? You need to invest in yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta get those comp cards, get your pictures, get your actors access, like get your website, like just get yourself, like do business. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are that business, so go ahead and put that work in and watch it flip. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Watch it flip. Watch it flip. Flip these houses out here. Flip your career. Flip your life. Like it's your life. This is what you want to do. Put that time and work and investment into yourself. Like, and it's gonna work out. I promise you.
True story. True story. Y'all know how I got to study with Richard Lawson? I hit a scratch-off ticket. And I took that damn money. I flew out to LA from North Carolina. Okay. And I enrolled. Look, I took some of that scratch-off money, got me a little ghetto ass apartment over there on and study for 4 weeks. Study. A scratch-off ticket. Yeah. I flipped it.
Flip it. Flip it. Flip it. When y'all say flip it.
Flip it.
So, taking the acting classes, right? You got your comp cards, doing some auditions, you book, right? Okay, then you get a little money. So what's next, right? Agent, right? Finding some representation. So some of you guys, I don't know if you guys got representation or not. Like, what did you have to do to find that representation? Like, what process you took to find your representation?
My actual representation is out of North Carolina, but they're big in the Southeast. They're called Talent One, Raleigh, Durham area. I'm sorry. My apologies. Talent One out of Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina is my agent, and the way that I landed that representation was that I actually landed a role in a film that their son, it's a wife and husband couple that owns this company. They used to be the talent company for John Casablanca in North Carolina, and they decided to break off and do their own stuff years ago. But their son was filming a film that I landed a supporting role in, an indie film in North Carolina, and asked me, do you got representation? He said, man, you need representation. I was like, nah. He's like, go see my mom and my dad right now. And so when I went and saw them, they had me audition, and they right away got behind me, and then before you know it, I was They was pushing me. You represent all these names I'm saying. I hope y'all taking note of this because these are the casting agents you want to get in front of. Make sure that your agent is pushing you in front of them and selling you and promoting you. So representation is awesome. But I promise you, again, get that Actors Access page because that's like self-representation right there. And you can go far with Actors Access, but that's who I was represented by for years in the Southeast, and then I went out and got Rich Girl out in the West Coast so that I can be represented on the West Coast as well.
There are several talent agencies here in Atlanta, and you all can look them up. I think that Mike said it best. Nobody can represent you better than you. So that Actors Access, you building that up, because that's what they're gonna ask you. Well, what's your Actors Access? They're gonna say, well, let me see your demo reel. So you are saying, okay, let me build my own, let me do the work that I can do to empower myself first before I come to you asking you to push me. I gotta push myself first. And so you do that first, and then for me, if you build it, they will come.
They will.
They will come looking for you, right? So just build it, build your house, like Will Smith said, brick by brick. And so, and then now is a good time now to build it because the industry is shifting. And so now you can reach out to these representations and say, I want to be your partner. Not, I want you to represent me, no, I want to be your partner. Because I have agency, I got power in my own self. I've been creating my own content. I've been writing my own scripts. I've been doing my own thing with my tribe. So now you coming to them with power, with leverage. And that's what they want to see. Come to them with leverage.
Hey, hold on 1 second, Pat. Please put your phone in the air if you have one. So that means that you have resources. You have a cell phone, you have resources. But the first thing that people want to do is make excuses for what they can't do. This is not the 1980s, this is not the 70s, this is not the 90s. So at the end of the day, you don't have to work as hard as they used to. You have a cell phone, you have resources. I'm gonna say it one more time. You have a cell phone, you have resources. So at the end of the day, I'll tell you this story. When my brother got the role as Groot, right? I was like, man, nobody's seen your face other than the series that we did on Netflix called Happen Leonard with Michael K. Williams before he passed away. So I asked him, I said, so how can people know who you are? He was like, man, they represent the original Barney, the original Elmo, the original Tinkerbell, you name it. So I called, the CEO picked up the phone, and he was like, how did you get my number? And I said, I went on Google and I saw it. And he was like, well, somebody's getting fired today. Because nobody's supposed to have my phone number. But he was like, okay, well, tell me who you are, you know. So I gave him, all my brother's information. And from there, he was like, okay, I'll look into it and I'll call you tomorrow. He called me the very next day and was like, we want to sign your brother on. And 2 weeks later, my brother was booked all across the country doing conventions. So at the end of the day, like I said, if you have a cell phone, use it. I had a friend of mine who shot a film with a $900 budget with 2 iPhones. And his first check from Tubi was $10,000. If you have a cell phone, use it. There's no excuses. We don't have to put our feet on the pavement like they used to. You can be right at home, making as much content as you need for social media, the works. But like I said in the beginning, be aligned spiritually first in order to get direction. I hope that helped.
I want to share with you before we open the floor for questions.
I want to ask everybody to stand up real quick. Everybody, including. And the reason why I do that is I found some of my best moments in prison in isolation. When they put me in the hole, you know, I wasn't no angel on the inside. Crazy stuff happened, you know, they be trying to play a light-skinned brother sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You gotta throw hands and feet sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But no, you get put in the isolation cell, but that isolation cell gave me my peace to myself. It stopped every movement that was negative against me, around me. It shielded me, it protected me. It was my embryonic stage to when I was in the womb again, in the matrix, to where I can think. So what I do, and you know, it may not be in your budget, but what I do is I go get a hotel room, Oceanside, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, or whatever, and I go there for a day or two and practice and relax. And I get into my isolation self. It may be a closet somewhere, it may be the toilet, it may be somewhere where you can really sit down and think. But sometimes you gotta get away from the noise. And I'm gonna tell you why. When we were coming up and we was watching TV and we went to sleep on the TV, and then the television set is signed off, what happened? Shh, but it woke you up, right? It was noise, white noise. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sorry for using the analogy, but think about it. When you put yourself in a situation where noise wakes you up and it disturbs you and distracts you, get away from the noise. Get away from the naysayers. Get away from those that are not pouring into you supportively with what it is that you want to do. I don't care if it's a significant other. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care if it's your bullshit ass neighbor next door that can't seem to get along with the fact that you are somebody trying to do something. Get away from the noise. I promise you there's times I want to react to the noise. But I'm like, nah, he's just making noise. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth losing my sanity and losing my freedom. It ain't worth growing in the craft that I chose to become my career. I do this full time. I don't have a job. I act and I produce full time. Even if it's a music video, I'm gonna go shoot it and make my money. You know why? Because I know how to get away from the noise and come back and be creative, productive, and prosperous. I promise you, get away from the noise.
One more thing, Queen. If it's free too. You can go and walk. Go out and find a nice path where you walk. People think I'm weird, but I hug trees. Oh, word. You know what I'm saying? It's come on, tree hugger. Yes. So and it's powerful. Yeah, yes. You do, right? And then thanks, Queen. And so you know that really you release and then ground yourself. Take them shoes off. Walk in the grass. Go ground yourself. So that's free. God gave us that.
And I've seen some sexy trees out there too.
And also, extra work is good because it puts you in a position to meet the right people. I know a lot of extras that, one in particular, Dawn Hapkin. She was an extra. She moved up to stand-in. She went from stand-in to get in front of all the directors, right? Right, because that's what you want to get in front of, right? You want to get in front of those people that's going to put you on the screen. So and then in this industry as well, it's all about relationships, right? It's about who you know, right? And coming in with the right attitude, having the right personality, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people out there that's feeling entitled. They think because they look good that they're supposed to get it. They just don't understand it's that person that got that relationship with that director or that casting director or that AD, because some of those ADs when you're on set, a lot of people don't know, they're the ones putting you in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? When you're an extra, they're the ones that go, I got you right here, we'll stand right there. Make sure you walk regular that way, let's go put you in front of the camera. And that's what get you prepared, you know what I'm saying? So just, start somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Build that step, and then you'll get it, you know what I'm saying? Any other questions?
A little information about how I got into acting and how I started. Actually, I wasn't into it at all. I actually stumbled across someone who offered me an opportunity, and I kind of just took it. I was like, I don't act, I don't model, but I do have a big personality, so let me try it. I'm usually good at making people laugh, so I'm like, I can do this, I can do it. I went to the audition, and I did not look like anybody at the audition. So I just knew I didn't have that role. And by the grace of God, I was the one for that role. And so once I was able to be on set and to be around people, I realized, okay, I like this. So I took the next 5 to 6 years to go to class and put my head into it. And I knew that my moment might not come right then, but I knew eventually God knew what I was working for. I knew what I was working for, so I put forth that effort to, work towards getting anything. Because I was just at a point where I was like, okay, I want to do these type of roles. And my manager was like, what if you don't get that type of role? You can't just put yourself in that box. And then you decline an offer, and you can potentially, use that to your benefit to help you grow. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it. Even though I didn't really want that one, it ended up being very, I would say, lucrative and also inspiring for me, because I get to be a part of a big part of history. So that was amazing for me. But I would just advise everyone in the acting world, if you are acting, trying to act, anything that you're trying to do, the only way you're going to make it is being yourself, because a lot of times people aren't just going to pick you because you're good. You could be terrible, honestly, but they're going to pick the person that looks more the part. So I guess with that, all in all, pretty much said, I worked tirelessly to create, I guess, this motivation to get up and go to class, because it's so hard when you feel like, oh, I'm gonna never get it. But once you get to that point where you're like, all right, I'm invested in this, before you know it, there's that role that you've been looking for. So I hope that you all can work, and put yourselves in better positions to just be around certain people in the industry, to be involved in certain things like these, expos and just social networks. Market yourself. Put yourself in a position where you're seen. If that's really truly what you want, you gotta realize what lane it is. You can't just say, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then you don't really put your effort into it. So I just hope, that everybody could come together so that we could be able to help each other grow, especially our community.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. What y'all, you got a question? I do. Okay, go ahead.
Hello. I really don't have a question. It's more of a statement. I wanted to thank you all for all the great gems that you dropped tonight. It's been very beneficial, educational. BIANCA_REZINE.